Okay, so now it's time to introduce my friend and colleague, Dr. Mark Stovak, your incoming AMSSM president. This is a nice photo of Mark with his wife, Leslie, also a physician. Only these two would take a picture in an exam room with an oto-ophthalmoscope behind them. So Dr. Stovak is a team physician at University of Nevada, Reno. Has served on multiple NCAA committees, including chair of CSMAS recently. He served as an AMSSM board of director from 2010 to 2014, and then didn't take a break. Served as secretary treasurer on the AMSSM executive committee from 2015 to 2019. And then maybe had a year off and was elected to the second VP role and has served on the executive committee now for 2 years, rolling into his third year. So I think I'm counting almost 10 years of consecutive board and executive committee service for Dr. Stovak. So the guy basically doesn't sleep. He is a fellow of the American Academy of Family Physicians, a fellow of the American College of Sports Medicine, and a fellow of AMSSM. His favorite quote, and I will read this, is, "To me, there are 3 things we should do every day. Number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number 3 is you should have your emotions move to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day, and that's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're gonna have something special." And that's from Jim Valvano. So I think we're in very capable hands moving forward with Dr. Stovak as your incoming president, and I'm very pleased to welcome him to the stage and welcome him passing the torch. Here we go.
Okay, so she already made me cry. That's pretty routine for me in this, so it's very fitting. But I want to thank Amy for her service. Amy has been a great role model, friend, teammate, and I'm sure that I will be calling on you frequently. So you're awesome, and go Utah.
Go Utah. Thank you.
This is a nice thing.
So I can hammer?
Yeah, so you got to do it.
Thank you.
And again, you can't get thanked too many times. So, Kyle, can you come up here? I know it's a long walk. You'll get your steps in. So Kyle was a medical student in Wichita, and then he did his residency and fellowship in Utah. And if you were at the introduction part of this meeting, the start, I asked Kyle what he was going to do with his life, and he said, "I'm going to take your job." And so I actually hired him back when he finished fellowship, and then 5 or 6 months later, I moved to Reno, so he did take my job. And it couldn't have been in better hands. So if you have anything good to say about the meeting, please let Kyle know, and please let Matt know, because they've done a fantastic job. And if anybody knows Danae, please tell his wife the same thing. Next is Matt Leisler, our moderator of moderators. Matt, can you come up? Matt took our minutes of our online meetings because we didn't have any in-person meetings to plan the meeting. He kept all the moderators working, getting their speakers lined up, getting their questions in, getting their goals and objectives in. It's kind of a thankless job. But if there's anything you have good to say about the meeting, please tell Matt as well. And if you know his wife, Tori, please tell her. So I don't have a plaque for you, but thank you. Please stay up here. Matt was also a student in Wichita before going on to bigger and better things. I'm going to have Matt do the next thing, which is pick the raffle winners. Kim Stewart. Yeah, Utah. Is Kim Stewart present? You have to be present to win. Going once, going twice. Temalola Abdul. All right. That's mine. I don't see it. I don't have the check from you, so you'll have to get that at the desk from Jody, but I'll give you your winning. Alvin Chi. All right. All right, great job. So again, you can't be thanked too many times. So I want to thank our awesome program committee. And then I want to correct a mistake on one of Kyle's slides. The wrong slide got presented. And so Melody Rubish and Aaron Monceau were not on that slide. So shout out to them for helping double time. If everybody is here, could you just stand up and be recognized? Thank you all again. So now I get to thank my sponsors. I told you I'd cry. They just all mean so much to me. So I learned yesterday or the day before what the difference between mentorship and sponsorship was, thanks to Craig. But Dr. Puffer let me do a sports medicine rotation at UCLA when I was a medical student at Nevada. I was one of only 2 students that were allowed to do that rotation. And I learned at that time what sports medicine was. And I found my people. So thank you for letting a student who wasn't one of your students come and rotate with you. Mark LaValle was the chairman or the chair of the fellowship committee, and he gave me lots of opportunities to be involved and to be promoted within the committee. So thank you, Mark. I don't know if you're here, but Holly Benjamin was the chair of the education committee, and she gave me lots of opportunities and even promoted me to vice chair, which was a position that didn't exist in the structure of AMSSM at the time. So I had a title that was not a title. But thank you, Holly. And Craig put me on my first program planning committee for his meeting, and then taught me what sponsorship is. So thank you, Craig. And then my mentors. So this is the Ball State crew. Kim was an outgoing fellow when I started. Chad was my senior fellow, and it was an 18-month fellowship, so we overlapped. And that's Kim's member number, 408, just in case you're wondering. And Kim made me her program chair for the Tampa meeting in 2009. And both of them have just been available for me to ask stupid questions and to give me good advice anytime that I needed it. And I know that they promoted me behind the scenes, so thank you both. I want to thank you, my UNR home team, for being there on a daily basis and helping me when I need help to come do things for AMSSM. So Tony Eastlis and Scott Hall. Tony's down here. Scott had to go back and cover the training room. Thank you. Again, you can't thank everybody at AMSSM too often. So Jim, Jody, Michelle, Joan, Andy, Stephanie, Ellen, Amanda, Sarah, Brian, thank you all so much. You're the ones who really are the glue that keeps this thing moving on a daily basis, and we all can't thank you enough. And my wife and kids. My wife, Leslie's down here. She's my biggest fan, my biggest cheerleader. Thanks. And when I'm doing too much for work, she just always reminds me that I'm lucky that she's so much fun. So, thanks, Les. So this is what AMSSM means to me, and I think I could have gone on for slides and slides and slides, right? But it's been my professional home since my first meeting in 1997 at the Broadmoor. I found it immediately welcoming, inclusive, supportive. I've made friends and colleagues. It's been a source of motivation and knowledge, and I'm never as motivated as after I leave this meeting. It's always a safe place to debate controversial topics, and sometimes you just agree to disagree, but it's a safe place for a debate. We have a commitment to excellence. We have amazing people who are our strength. Our diversity is a strength. And it's just volunteerism at its best. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the greater good of sports medicine. And I think that's what we're good at. There are multiple program planning folks. There's multiple speakers. There's tons of presenters. There's just an inordinate amount of people doing work behind the scenes on committees. And our research, has global impact. Our clinical expertise enhances the health and wellness of innumerable patients. And our educational programs have trained thousands of physicians. So thank you all. The executive committees, and the reason I have this up here to thank all of them is, we kind of say our fellows can't do good research in 1 year, right? It's hard to get much done in 1 year. Well, I think it's pretty much the same being a president. Like, I've never seen one president start something, get something done without any help of anybody else. And that goes for the other folks on the executive committee, the secretary, treasurer, the board of directors, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not really a one-year gig. It's really just presidency by teamwork, I think, that it happens over a several-year process. So thank you to all of you. Some ongoing committee projects, may come to fruition during this time, but that I have very, little to do with because of all the exciting things that are going on in the background. The Collaborate, the membership tracking to improve structural racism and health inequities, the Summit for the CRN on underserved populations and health disparities, the Q-Bank, musculoskeletal radiology modules, pathology database for ultrasound, sexual violence toolkit for practice and policy, IIOR trips to expand our partnerships in other countries, multiple publications. These is just one thing from each committee, and each committee is working on many things. So thank you to everybody who's doing that behind the scenes. And then, many plans coming forward. If you have plans or ideas, please bring them forward. But I know we're partnering with the ABFM on the sports medicine subboard that's going to be formed. We're going to work on longitudinal maintenance of certification. Mike Heenahan and Ashwin Rao are already working on a KSA for musculoskeletal health. I'd like to look into the companies that have the physician salary benchmarks that tell us how many RVUs we have to produce and what we should be paid, and see if it goes along with all of our years and years of salary data and information that we've collected. So if anybody has any interest or expertise in that, please let me know. I'd like to get that going. And then we'll be doing needs assessments, and this is the year where we do our strategic plan. The last one was in 2017, and that will carry the trajectory of our organization for the next several years. This is my promise to you that I'll listen, I'll be transparent, I'll create opportunity, I'll try to break down barriers and build bridges. I'll take advantage of all the smart people who have come before me, the past presidents, the executive committee, the current board of directors, and then anybody else who has a great idea and an opinion. Please let me know. And president at AMSSM may go to Amy for a while, but eventually it will come to me. And I just want to end with this. It says, when you create a difference in someone's life, you not only impact their life, you impact everyone influenced by them throughout their entire lives. So go create waves. I encourage each of you to find your passion within AMSSM and make some ripples. So thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the meeting, and welcome home. It's better live.